This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening. So in last class we discussed regarding the dashboard. Today we are going to start with the what if analysis. So I don't think so you have any query regarding last class. So we'll start with the new topic today.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma.
what are the timings for tomorrow's exam?
Same timing. 6 to 7:30.
Total marks,
Sorry, I didn't get you.
the total marks of this exam, approximately.
Uh, I think 50 will be there.
Okay.
50
And
questions or 30 questions will be there. Each
okay,
question carry 2 marks.
okay, this will be in Google Forms and like what medium?
Yeah. Google Forms.
All right.
MCQ will be there for you.
Okay, so
Okay,
like
so other
every
students,
so it's a
yeah,
50
tell me.
marks exam, but like approximately like 30 something questions will be there.
Maybe I didn't check. Maybe 30 or 50 question will be there.
All right, all right. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Give
And
me
ma'am, it
2 minutes.
is excuse me, ma'am, is it MCQ based questions?
Yeah. Give me 2 minutes. I'll see. I'll get back to you. Is that fine for you?
Yeah, fine,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So 50 questions are there. So each question carry 2 marks. Okay. So you have 1.5 hour. Anything else?
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So we'll continue with our topics.
Ma'am, could you just send the recording of yesterday's class as well?
Uh, I'll just check and I'll get back to you, ma.
Okay, ma'am.
So we are discussing the what if analysis. So we'll continue with that topic.
Ma'am, is it fine if we submit our assignments tomorrow?
Yeah, no issues.
Okay, ma'am.
And I'm checking your assignment, the person who has sent their assignment. Okay, I'll give a good marks for them. So total revenue.
Ma'am, actually, what is the marks? I mean, division, like how have you divided it? Assignment and the MCQ test.
So 100 marks is for your exam. Okay, 50 questions will be there. So each marks carry two. Sorry, each question carry the 2 marks. Okay, so there is no uh like there is no marks for your assignment. The thing is, you have to work on your practical. Then easily you can work in a theory exam. That is the reason. Got it? Total cost. Fine.
Yes,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
there's no marks for assignment then?
No pa.
Okay, ma'am.
But you have to send it to me.
Okay, ma'am.
So we'll continue with the same example. That price of a product will go for 35 or something like that. So you inform to your classmate, at least they have to attend their exam. Okay, so after attending their exam, so they will get a certificate. So I'll take a 35 is a price. Quantity I'll take it as 100. Total revenue is equals to price multiply by quantity. Okay, enter. Then transportation, so I'll take it as a equals to 10 multiply by your price. Enter. So total cost equals to 20 multiply by your quantity. Oh, 1 minute. Equals to 20 multiply by your quantity. So then the total cost is equals to transport plus item cost. Okay, so after this you have the option profit, that is revenue plus total cost. So we'll go for this now. So already we discussed regarding the goal seek, where you can set the target for your sales, then you can use the goal seek option. So I'll continue with the other thing, that is scenario manager. Okay, when I click on the scenario manager, you can see here, if the quantity is 200, you can see here what is my profit. 1 minute, what is my profit? B2 into, okay, item cost is 2 into, okay, fine. Okay, 1 minute, I'll just use a minus here. Okay, so if my quantity is 2, if I sold a 200, my profit will be 3000. If I sold a 250, the quantity is 250 and my profit is 3750. So like this you can set a scenario for your data. So what I'll keep it 100. Okay, when the quantity is 100, you can see my profit is 1500. So I'll set a scenario for my each and every data. So I'll select a quantity. I'll click on this what if analysis. I'll set a scenario for if the quantity is increased by 200, otherwise if the quantity is increased by 300, if the quantity is in 400. So I'll set a different scenario for my data. I'll just click on the scenario manager. You can see here, create a different group of values or scenario and switch between them. So I'll just click on the scenario manager. I'll click on this add scenario name. So I'll give a scenario name as a 200 quantity. I'll give a scenario manager, that is 200 quantity. So by changing which cell, so by changing the quantity, so I want to know by changing the quantity, by increasing the quantity instead of 100, if my scenario will be of, or this my quantity is increased by 200, I want to know what is the profit. Instead of changing it manually, I'll set a scenario for this. So I'll type here, by changing the cell quantity, you can see a B3 is cell address, and you can give any of the name. So I'll take it as a okay, so I'll type here quantity increased by, if the quantity is increased by 200, if the quantity is increased by 200, I'll just copy it. Now I'll just click on this OK. Fine, or can I explain it once? Fine, then I'll just click on this OK. Now enter the value for each of the changing cell. So I want to change it as a 200. I'll just click on this OK. Otherwise, if you want to add more than one scenario, then click on this add option. So I want to add more than one scenario, so I'll just click on this add. So again, scenario name, I'll take it as a, if the quantity is 300. By changing the quantity, and I'll just, quantity is increased by 300, I'll just click on this, and you can see I'll change here 300, click on add option. Now the scenario name is, if the quantity is increased by 400 quantity, by changing the quantity, and for description I'll just paste it here, if the quantity is increased by 400. Okay, so I'll change here 400, click on OK button. I don't want to add a more scenario, I'll just click on this OK button. Now if I want, I'll just, you can see here I have 1,500 is the profit. If my quantity is increased by 400, I'll just click on this show option. I'll just click on this show. Can you see here, if my quantity is increased by 4, my profit will be 6,000. If my profit is increased by 200, okay, I'll click on this show option, my profit will be 3,000. So this is how we are using the okay scenario. Okay, I'll just click on this close option. Now if I want to get the summary of my data, so I'll just click on this, I'll go to this what if analysis scenario manager. You have the option called as summary, where you can generate the summary of your, if the value is 100, 200, 300. So I'll just click on this scenario, click on this OK button. You can see here scenario summary. If the current value is 200, you can see a B3 and B8. It is little bit confusion for us, B3 and B8. So I'll give for a cell, I'll set a name for this. For quantity, you can see here in a name box, I'll take it as a quantity. Enter. Profit, so I'll mention it as a profit. Click on this enter option. Now I'll just delete this scenario, the entire table, or this thing. Now I'll just click on this, I'll go to this what if analyze scenario manager. You have the option here summary, so I'll just click on this summary. Okay, now you can see here, by changing this cell, if the quantity is 200, the resulted cell is 3,000. If the quantity is okay 300, the result is 4500. If the quantity is increased by 400, the result is 6000. So you can generate the summary for your data or value. Fine. Okay. Now what I will do, the next topic we are going to discuss, that is data table. See the result of a multiple inputs at the same time. See here. So here in a business scenario, I have to select here. I have to select here 300. I click on the show. So I can see one by one. At a time, I can't see my profit. For that purpose, so what I will do, I'll use this data table. So I'll insert a one data table for you. Now I'll use a quantity here. This is the price. So instead of price, I'll take it as a profit. Excuse me. If the I'll take a quantity 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600. So if the I'll take it as 100 here. If the quantity is 100, profit is 1500. So I'll keep my cursor here. I'll use a one formula equals to B8. B8 is my profit. So I'll type here B8. So B8 is my profit. So I'll select equals to B8, enter. Now how to create a table? First I'll just select the whole thing. So I'll set past this thing. Okay, fine. Now, so select the entire table. Select the entire table. Go to the data. Here, what if analysis? Data table. I'll just click on this data table. Row input cell. So we have a column input cell. You can see here we have the column input cell. Don't have a row, we have a column input cell. So I'll just click on this column input cell is 100. If the column input cell is 100, okay. So I'll just click on this OK button. 1 minute, guys. I'll just. I'll delete with this. 1 minute. So I'm using here equals to B8. So I'm using here B8. Enter. Now I'll select it. After selecting it, I'll click on this what if analysis. Data table. Column input cell is your quantity. So you have to select the quantity. Click on OK button. Now you can see here. If the quantity is 200, 3000. You can in scenario also you can see here. If the quantity is 300, 200, 3000. If my quantity is 300, 4500 is the profit. 300 and 400, 6000. 400, 6000. So like this you can use a data table. So while selecting, don't select the headings. Okay, select only the values.
Ma'am,
Go
can
to
you
what
show that data
yeah.
table?
So after this entering the data, you have entered the data. So here,
Got 0, 0, 0, 0 and everything
which one 0, 0?
in the data table.
Okay, listen to me. You enter this data. Done. So select the first cell. So you can see here my quantity is 100, profit is 1500. So I'll use equals to. Don't select it like this. So B8. So type the cell address B8. Select the cell address of a profit. Select a cell address of a profit. Click on enter option. Now, don't select the heading. Select only the numbers. Select only the
I'm
numbers.
getting can't select part of the table if I'm clicking on the profit 1000.
I
Wow.
told you don't click on this. I told you to enter the cell address. Here I have entered the cell address. You can see. I didn't click. Fine. At least say yes or no.
I'm doing it again. Yes, ma'am. I entered B8.
Okay.
Oh,
Now, when you click on enter, you are getting the same answer.
yes, ma'am.
Now, one. Now select only the numbers. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
What if analyze data table?
Mm,
Column input cell. Select quantity.
done.
Okay. Done.
Got it. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Done.
So you can see the scenario summary and sheet. So instead of one by one at a time in a table, you can see the different scenarios. Okay, with the help of data table. So this is all about your what if analysis. So the next one is important, that is review and view tabs. So once we completed with these things, we are winding up our Excel syllabus. Okay. Now, if for example I made some mistakes here, so instead of a revenue, I'll give it as a, instead of a V, I'll take it as a guys. Manually, I'm making a mistake to understand this concept. And cost, so I'll take it as a cost. Instead of cost, I'll go for here. Okay, instead of a profit, so I'll use here E here. Now I don't know this spelling. If I want to check this spelling, can you see a spelling? Or you can use the shortcut key F7. F7 is the shortcut key for to check this spelling. I'll just press F7 here. I'll press F7. You can see here what it is displaying. Profit. So I'll just click on this. If you want, you can ignore it. Otherwise, you can change it. So I'll just click on this change option. Okay, now total revenue. You can see here it is displaying the suggestion for you. So this is my revenue. I'll click on this change. So this is how we use the spelling check. Got it, or can I explain it one? Fine then. So the next concept we are going to learn, that is thesaurus. What is this thesaurus? Thesaurus is nothing but it will get a synonyms or the another word for your particular text or the word. Okay. Thesaurus. So I'll use a profit. So I'll just select a profit. I want a synonyms for the profit. I'll just click on this thesaurus. I'll just click on this. You can see here profit is nothing but a income, revenue, turnover, return. So whichever you want. For example, I want revenue. Otherwise, I want a turnover. I'll just right click here. You have the option called as insert. I'll just click on this insert. Can you see here? Instead of the profit, it is displaying the turnover. This we call it as thesaurus. So these are the two things. Then I'll go for the workbook statistics. When I click on this workbook statistics, you can see here end of a sheet, cells with the data, tables, formulas, what all things we have there in my particular workbook, it will display. So how many tables I have inserted, how many formulas, how many cells are there. So every information which is related to your particular workbook, it is displayed in your workbook statistics. Next, smart lookup. Every time what we will do, if I want to search any information, we'll go for the smart look. Sorry, every time we'll go for any web browser like Chrome, Opera, Microsoft Edge, Internet Explorer. So every time we have to go for some particular web browser. So instead of that, I'll click on this smart lookup. When I click on the smart lookup, if I want to know the information about turnover, you can see a turnover. Not only that one. If I want to know about okay, fine. I want to know about the slab rate for IT for income tax return for the assessment year 2024 and the 25. So you can see here it will provide the all this information, latest income tax slab rate for the assessment 23 and 24. So you have the assessment here 24 and 25. I'll just click on this. So it will provide a information for you. Okay, you can copy paste it in your Excel also. So this is how we use the smart lookup. So I'll just take any one of it. Fine, I'll just click on this. I'll just click on the, I'll just copy paste it. I'll copy, I'll just paste it here. Now I'll just close with this. If I want to convert into another language, then you can go for the translate. When you click on this translator, You can see a English to English is there. So I'll just pop up here. You will get the list of options here, like Gujarati, or if you want in a Marathi, or in Kannada, in Hindi. Okay, so or the Korean. So whichever you want, you can select it. I'll just show it in a Hindi or Marathi. So I have Marathi here. So you can see here. If you want to insert it, right click, select one. One minute. I'll just click on this. Oh, I don't think so. We can insert it. So you can select any other languages here. So if you want Japanese, okay, you can use this. So this we call it as what? Translate option. Now I'll just close this. I'll select it. I'll delete it. Now, if I want to give a comment for a particular table or a heading, you can use the comment option. So I'll just click on this. I want to give the comment on a what if analysis. Okay. So I'll just click on this. I'll click on this new comment. So I'll give here uh, mhm. First one, goal seek, manager, one minute, show comment. Okay. So manager. Then you can go for the another one, data table. Okay. So you can give the comment for any heading table. So I'll give a header. I'll select the entire table. I'll give a one comment. Here I'll go for the okay. Now. So of course, when you click, can you see here? When I keep the cursor here or select that cell, you can see my things. So here also, if you want to show those things, you can click on this show all commands. If you want to hide, you can hide it. Select it and show or hide. Okay. So if you want to move it from so previous next. Okay, I'll click on next option. If you want to delete it, you can delete it. If you want to edit it, you can edit it. So these are the options available in your comments. Sure. Fine then. I'll just click on this. I don't want to edit. I'll just want to delete it. I'll select it. I'll delete it. Now, these two things play an important role in a review where protect sheet and protect workbook. Okay. Think that I want to share the data to some other people. Okay. So I don't want other people to make changes in my particular workbook. I don't want other people to make changes in a particular workbook. Like when I right click on this, by inserting a extra sheet or deleting, rename, move or a copy, I don't want any changes in my particular workbook when I share the data to other people. So for that purpose, I'll set with the password. How to set a password? You can see here, right click, all these options are enabled. All these options are there to use. So what I will do, I'll just click on this protect workbook. I'll set a password. So I'll give a password 123, enter, re-enter the password 123. Okay. When I click on this, now I'll right click on any of the sheet here. Can you see here? All these things are disabled for me. Insert, delete. We can't insert a extra sheet. We can't delete it. We can't rename it. So here you can see here also. So this is how the protect workbook is working. This is how the protect workbook is working. You can see here, keep others from the making the structural changes to your workbook, such as moving, deleting, or adding the sheet. Now the next thing we are going to learn, that is product sheet. But in a particular sheet, I can change it. Instead of a 200, so 100, I'll make it as a 250. I can make a changes in that. So what I will do, I don't want other person to make a changes in my particular data. Now for that purpose, I'll click on this protect sheet. So you have to open the current sheet. After opening the current sheet, you have the option here, protect sheet. Now so you have the list of the option, what all things are, okay, where you are inserting. Select a locked cell, select an unlocked cell. So I'll select all these options. Nothing but I don't want make any changes in my particular sheet. So I'm selecting deleting rows, sort, use a filter, pivot table, edit object. So for that, after selecting all the option, I'll give a password. So my password is 456. Enter. I'll re-enter my password 456. Enter. Now I'll try to change my cell. So I'll type here 150. Can you see here the cell or a chart you are trying to change in your protected sheet? To make a changes, unprotect the sheet, you might be requested to enter a password. Okay. Fine. So protect workbook is nothing but you're unable to add or copy the particular sheet or the thing. So sheet is nothing but you can protect a particular sheet. If you want to work, if you want to unprotect it, just click on this unprotect a sheet, give the password 123 123, enter. The password you have entered is okay, so I'll just click on this 456, enter. Now you are eligible to change the cell. Protect workbooks, I'll just click on this 789, enter. What is that? 789, enter. Now password you supplied is not correct. So 123, enter. Now okay, now you can see right click. So all these things are available for you. So this is how we use the protect sheet and protect workbook. Fine. Chalo then. So the next thing we are going to learn, that is view tab. The last topic of your Excel is view tab. Fine. So first one is, when I open the Excel, by default we have a normal view. We'll cross check with this. When I use the Control N, the shortcut key to open the new workbook. So when I press a Control N, we have a normal view. So this is the normal view. So by default, when you open the Excel, so we have a normal view. See your document in a normal view. And the next one is, so I'll just click on this. I'll just close this. I'll open another workbook. So I'll go for the dashboard. So when I click on this view, you have the option here. Okay, page break preview. What is this page break preview? So it is used to break, okay, appear when your document is printed. Okay, when I take a print, so it will display the line for you. Okay, you can see here 2419 Rahul mobile is the last entry. You can see here when I click on this page break, so it, the blue color line, can you see here? The blue color, it will display in a first page, all these things are included. In a second page till here, and the third page till here. So this is how, what it is, a page break preview. See where the page break will appear when your document is printed. So this is the page break preview where your document is going to print in for the third page, and this is for fourth, fifth, like that. So this we call it as what? Page break preview. The next option is page layout. So I'll come to the normal. I'll click on this page layout. So in a page layout, you can see how your printed document will look. Nothing but it is similar to your, how many pages are there? You can see here first page and the second page, third, fourth, all these things are there. Now if I want to give the heading for each and every page, instead of typing it, you can use add a header and footer. Header is nothing but the top, footer is nothing but below. So I'll give the header here as a dashboard. So after this, for footer, I'll give it as a MS Excel. So when I come to the normal, I'll use a control P option. Can you see a dashboard and MS Excel? When I click on this 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, for each and every uh, printed sheet, you can set a heading for that by using this, okay, page layout. After that, custom view. When you want to view, okay, when you want your particular data or the information. So whenever I open this data, so I'll just so I have some bottom data. I'll select this bottom data from 325 to 343. So I'll select it. I'll click on this custom views. I'll click on this add. I'll give a name RP1. RP1, click on this OK button. Now, whenever you can keep the cursor here, go to the custom view. Can you see a show option? You can see here. The selected data will be displayed when you use this custom views option. So these are the info things we are using in a workbook views. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The next thing we are going to learn, that is show option. So already we have discussed in the page layout. So again I'm going to explain with the view option. If can you see the grid lines are there? So if you don't want the grid lines, just deselect this. You can see any grid lines are there.
No, ma'am.
If you want to select, you can go for that. If you don't want a headings, you can remove the headings. Okay. If you don't want the formula bar, you can select it and deselect it. So these are options are shown. The next one is zoom. So you can use it here, guys. In a status bar, you have the zoom in and zoom out. So I'll just click on this zoom. You can go for 200, 100, all those things. If you want to custom it, like I want 145, click on this enter button. It will zoom at 145. If exactly I want 100%, click on this. If I want to zoom the selected area, so I want to zoom the selected area, click on the zoom to selection. So it will zoom the selected area. So I'll just click on this 100% now. The next thing is new window, which play an important role here. Now you can see here it is showing dashboard for me. When I click on this new window, you can see a dashboard 2 is there. So I'll just click on this dashboard 3. You can see open a second window for your document, so you can work in a different places at the same time. When I click on this new window, dashboard 3 is there. You can see here in a taskbar, I'll just close with this. You have the option dashboard 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have a 3 dashboard by using the 3 file by using the new window. Now listen to me carefully. If you make a changes in any of the cell in any of the workbook, for example, you can see here in a dashboard 3, I'll delete till 10 entries including the heading. So okay, fine. So I'll delete the first okay, 23rd of Jan. I'll just delete it now. If I click on this dashboard 1 also, you don't get it. In dashboard 2 also, you don't get it. So when you open the new window, when you make a changes in any of the workbook, okay, so it is applicable for the remaining things. So I'll use a control Z. You can see. Then if you want to arrange it, so when you have more than a one, if you want arrange it, you can arrange those things. The next one is very important, that is freeze panes. What is this? See here, I'll just delete all these things. So you can see here top we have a date, salesman, item, company, okay, quantity and the amount. When I scroll this, my head, I'm working as a data entry. So what we have to do every time? One minute. So every time I have to scroll it. So first one is date. So what I have to do? I have to see here. Okay, this is the date. Okay, again I have to come here. So I have to give the date here like a 12, 12, 2019. Then I have a salesman. To see the heading, I have to use this vertical scroll bar. So what I will do, I'll freeze the top row. What I will do, whatever the top row is there, so I'll freeze it. So I'll just select it. I'll click on this freeze. You have the option here, freeze the top row. Okay, you can see here, keep the top row visible while scrolling through the rest of the worksheet. Click on this. Now, when I scroll it, the first row will not move. Okay. Now, aram se you can enter the data. This is how we use the freeze. If you want to unfreeze it, just click on this. You have the option unfreeze. If you want a first column, select this. Click on this first column. You can go for this. So after this, okay, hide. Okay, if you want to hide the entire workbook, so remember, if you want to hide the single sheet, right click here, you have the option, hide option will be there. This is applicable only for your particular sheet. If you want to hide the entire workbook, click on this. You can see here, you don't get any of the sheet here. How to unhide this? Click on this unhide option. You have the option here, dashboard, click on OK button. So this is hide and unhide option will be there for you. The next thing we are going to learn, switch window. Okay. Now I have some Excel sheets Excel workbook are there. I'll open some other workbook here. Okay, database function. I'll open pivot table. I'll open VB merge sheet. Can you see here in a task bar we have all this. So whenever if I want to work in a database, I have to select here. If I want to work in a dashboard, I have to select here. Instead of that, you have the option here, switch window. You can see here, if I want to work in a pivot table, I'll click on this. Again, I'll go to the view, switch window. If I want to work in a database function, click on this. If I want to work in a dashboard, I can click here. This is how we use the switch windows. Instead of selecting in the taskbar, you can use the switch window. So this is all about your view tab. Already we have discussed regarding the macro and VBA, so I'm not going to continue with that. So we are completed with your okay Excel, advanced Excel. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
So any doubt regarding today's class? So whatever we have discussed. Fine then. So I'll close this. And tomorrow same timing you have your exam at 6 o'clock to 7:30. 50 questions are there. Okay, each question carry 2 marks. Okay, so your exams are in a MCQ. Okay, and we provide it in a Google sheet. So tomorrow I'll send the link. Okay, you have to just log in to the link. Okay, after logging to a particular link. Okay, so you have to provide us some particular information like your email ID, student name, okay, and mobile number, your registration number that you have MD or something like that, your college name, your education, okay, BCom, MCom, MBA, so whatever you're pursuing, so that education, then which semester you're studying at present for 5th, 6th, that you have to give, then gender, then you start with your questions. Okay, so
Yes,
you
ma'am.
work on your shortcut keys and theory part. What is chart? Okay, uh, absolute reference, relative reference. After that you can work on spark line, after the logical function. So whatever we have discussed till today, so you'll get the all the question. Okay, so it is too easy when you work on it. So you guys work on it. If you have any query, okay, let me know in the before your exam. Fine.
Yes, ma'am.